What is good, everybody? Let's get started on social. This is The Last Word. This is where you come live on Stadium every single Monday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We love being partners with Stadium and all of their platforms. We are live on Amazon Prime Video, on DirecTV, on YouTube TV, on Roku TV, and I'm your navigator. I am the coach, well over a decade inside of the WWE. So many of you already watching live. Thank you very much. But we've got a full hour here on the network, and I can't do this by myself. And we have so much to talk about, so let's bring in my co-stars. And I use that term very, very loosely. First and foremost, he is over 30 years, in fact, over 32 years inside the WWE. And when he was at ringside, he never would have let somebody cut a promo without a script. Say hello to Big Tommy C. Tommy Carlucci. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Gabby. And you're right, because I would have heard in my ear, hey, you got one job to do, kid, and do it right.
And up next, it's in her contract that she has to be introduced last. She is a superstar in the making, the host of the Gabby AF podcast. Please welcome Gabby Laspisa. Good evening, Gabby.
Good evening, gentlemen. Tommy, in my contract, I say hi to Tommy first. So, Tommy, nice to see you as well. And Coach, good to see you as always.
We have, God, I love you so much. We have a lot to get to. Coming up in about 45 minutes, we're going to tackle that thing that went viral last night at AEW Revolution, where an actress said absolutely the worst thing you can say on live TV. Gabby, by chance, who did you have as a guest on your podcast this particular week?
Yeah, I actually had said actress Tamaris Lewis and Camille, Kaylee Latimer, who's also in the film, together. So I'll definitely spill some tea with you guys.
I can't wait for that, because Camille went on social media to defend her today, and I severely disagree. We'll talk about that in 45 minutes. Also, we've got promo school. What are Tommy and Gabby and myself cutting a promo on tonight, and what would we change as we flip the script coming up at the bottom of the hour? If you want to be a part of the broadcast, you can do that via Super Sticker if you want to have yourself written, or if you are a premium member, we will read your opinions as well. But guys, we got to start with the end of Monday Night Raw. And I saw on a couple of different platforms that everybody knew Roman Reigns was going to be there tonight. But, Gabby, I'm going to start with you, because we hadn't seen him the entire night. And then you have – I would give the steel cage match a B. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was awful. But then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns drags out Seth Rollins, beats him down, keeps telling him that's for the Royal Rumble. And then he went after CM Punk as Paul Heyman was in the corner, and they cut to black before we knew if Roman went at Paul Heyman's. What did you make of that final 5-minute sequence tonight?
I mean, it was tremendous in my opinion. It was the little things that came together for these three guys, like the Rumble. This is for the Rumble against Rollins. And then how are we going to get him to get into the ring and hit Punk? Because we've seen the little bit that's been planted between Heyman and Punk. And then now you get the payoff. Now Roman's like, screw these two. I hate both of them. And I think this is obviously what's going to lead to a triple threat. And that is how you do it. You make me emotional. You make me invested in these three men absolutely just hating each other. There's no alliances, nothing like that. They all just three want to kill each other. And I thought that last 5 minutes really, really was the best 5 minutes of Raw tonight.
And Madison Square Garden, which is the best arena in the world, Tommy, and I have so many great memories from there. Yeah. That crowd was red hot when Roman came down. I thought they did a good job of cutting to where you didn't see him until he grabbed Seth Rollins and out. And by the way, if you don't think a little bit of time off gets somebody in good shape, how good did Roman look?
Roman.
My goodness. What was your take on that last 5 minutes? Easy over there, Gabby. Easy. Tommy, Tommy, she's done that to me before too, but she does it to my face. Not when I've been on Monday Night Raw. All right, Tommy, your take.
I'm a huge Roman fan, and after we're watching that match, right? We're watching this cave. And finish after finish was a false finish. So you knew something had to happen. All of a sudden, the crowd's going crazy. And production, once again, did a great job by disguising it, keeping the close-up on him. And then all of a sudden, who do we see? The man himself, Roman Reigns. And like Gabby said, they told a story, Coach, in 5 minutes. Now I think where they're going for WrestleMania, because Roman is just such a great superstar. He gets it. He knows how to tell the story. But the funny thing about the whole thing was seeing the wise man in the middle of the ring with Punk and Roman's face when he saw him. That tells a story right there. That's all you need to do is look at Roman. He's going, goes in the ring, and then they cut it to black. Did he hit the wise man? Did he not? Did he hold him up or what? So there's a lot more story to be told in that 5 minutes than we have in Gunther and Jay.
I knew you were going to go there. Tell me that's a great point, because Gabby, the fact that Paul Heyman was in the ring leaning over CM Punk without commentary and without context, you're like, why did he get into the ring? Why is he in there instead on the outside cheering on his boy, Roman Reigns? Those are the questions that is what's great in wrestling, and we don't know those answers, so now we got to tune in next week, and that's what a main event is supposed to do, lead you into the next week. Did you feel the same way with Paul Heyman in the ring?
Oh my gosh, 100%. I think one of the most intricate things that Roman Reigns has on his side is Paul Heyman. He's a huge part of why we have invested in Roman in all of this time, because there is nothing like Paul Heyman's facials, the way he talks, the promos he cuts, the words that he says. So now that little bit of him talking to somebody else, and now Roman is pissed because he's possessive, because that's, Paul Heyman, this is my wise man. This is who Roman is to me. Is he talking? Is he giving someone else the attention he should be giving me? 100% you're now invested to see what's going to happen. Is Paul going to make a jump ship from Roman to somebody else? Like, to even ask these questions is crazy.
It is. It really, really is. And with all the positives, we like to keep it even here. I did see some negatives, because for some reason, these guys, even Seth and CM Punk, 2 OGs, veterans, they're hitting each other with what I thought were their finishers, finish after finish after finish, and we're kicking out. So what is a finish, Tommy, at this point, if you're not staying down for those two things?
Yeah, that's what you try to figure out. But I think it's just in the heat of the moment, in the match, neither one of them want to lose this match. So you find that bit of energy to kind of kick out, because they did tell great stories with their faces. You saw Rollins' face. You saw him cussing at him. You saw Punk saying something. Punk could have left the ring. No, come get me now. So they told a great story in the ring for it, Coach. So that's where, and I agree with you, when you give somebody to finish 3 times in a row and you kick out, is it the energy you have? Is it like, I'm not letting this guy beat me? I'm tired of losing to him. That's what you got to think of. And I agree with you. It got a little excessive until Roman came out. So it should have been a little less more of the false finish, or doing their finishing move, or doing something else besides your finishing move to make your finishing move look bad.
Yeah, you are watching The Last Word. We are live on Stadium every single Monday night. Gabby, Big Tommy, and the coach. We have a premium member who writes too many false finishes. It just waters down the finishers. Abass, thanks for being a premium member. And also, we agree with you completely. Now the big question is this, because you tie it in, Gabby, to your boy, Cody Rhodes. I just felt the energy coming from you all the way across the country when your boy came out with that sexy black eye in that brand new suit. I was like, oh, Gabby's going to go nuts tonight. And what did he point out? The very same question that I will ask about Roman Reigns after tonight. He pointed out that we have not seen John Cena since perhaps the greatest heel turn of all time, and it's deflated that just a little bit. He will be in Hungary or Brussels next week, but will we see Roman Reigns after tonight? Don't we have to see him next week in Brussels? Yes?
I think if you're leading this towards a match for WrestleMania and you're going to make it a triple threat, and he just came in here and annihilated these two and finished the match because of this, if we don't see him, it's a major, major loss. Like, I don't even know how they could go about it. It is the WWE, so anything's possible, anything's possible. But I think you have to see him for it to be plausible, for you to keep believing in this story, because this match, if it is a triple threat, is looking to be one of my most anticipated matches to actually watch at WrestleMania. And doesn't even have a championship on it, which is insane to me.
The package is going to be amazing. I wonder which night they will put it on. Will it be opposite Cody and Cena? And Tommy, let me come back over to you, because I will defend John Cena, who I traveled with. That was my boy for a long time. I love that guy. I love The Rock too. Travis Scott, I could do without him. But the fact that we haven't seen them, and I don't know if Roman is allowed to fly that far. I don't know with his condition if there's any limitations whatsoever. But we've got 3 straight weeks overseas. 3 straight weeks of 3 p.m. in the East live, noon out here. We should do a live watch along or something like that. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you don't take these big stars and we're 5-6 weeks away from WrestleMania, doesn't that kind of deflate it a little bit for you to not have John Cena face Cody Rhodes for 2 full weeks until we get to Brussels next week?
Yeah, but I think Cole mentioned at the end, I think this is going to be the first time since Elimination Chamber we're going to see Cena and Cody in the same ring. And the same thing with Roman. Roman has to be there, Coach. There's no doubt about it. You're in 3 weeks going into towards WrestleMania and promotion of Wrestle. He cannot miss 3 weeks, Coach. I would be surprised if that happened, and I'd be flabbergasted if it did, because it would be a big mistake. Now, whether it's health wise or not, but I think he can travel pretty much when he wants, or he doesn't have to be there all week. He can leave 2 days before or whatever. But boy, that would be a big miss for WWE if Roman is not at a couple of these Raws internationally.
Big time. Abass, by the way, says live watch along would be awesome. Abass, I would actually do it, but I'm actually coming back from the Players' Championship next Monday. It's only the biggest event on the PGA Tour schedule. I'll be calling play-by-play, but that's neither here nor there. So here begs the question, Gabby, as I watched Cody Rhodes almost felt like they just inserted him into the show tonight because it was MSG, because it was New York City. And sometimes, and maybe I read too much into this, if you just got beat down and you still have the black eye, and he claims in a text to Conrad Thompson, hey, Travis Scott didn't touch me. I didn't have a broken eardrum. We all saw the video. He's trying to protect Travis Scott. And I said on social media, this is why celebrities should not be allowed to do that kind of stuff unless they get taught. And Travis Scott is now putting out T-shirts, which, by the way, you can buy through BTT. Scan the QR code on your screen right now. But in the real world, Travis Scott should not be fist pounding the side of the head, although I do want people to buy that T-shirt. Gabby, your thoughts?
Listen, I completely agree. I don't think there was a way to not. I know you said you feel like he was implanted on the show tonight, Cody, but at the end of the day, what were we supposed to have happen? Were we just going to ignore the storyline because The Rock's not showing up, Cena's not showing up? You got to put Cody on the show tonight because it's Raw in MSG. Like, what was the other option to do? Bring Cena in when you knew he couldn't be here? So he has to do that. And 1000%, I think celebrities are have been oversaturated in wrestling a little bit lately. And if they are going to get in the ring and they are going to hit a wrestler, they better know what they're doing. Otherwise, don't ever show up again, or I'm going to be pissed off at you. And that's what's happening because Travis Scott, you're dead to me.
Well, you all saw the behind-the-scenes videos that they posted where they came back, and I love when Triple H and The Rock are in the same space because I know I've experienced how much they truly hate each other. And so this whole notion that they're getting along these days is BS. Then Travis Scott comes back, oh, man, I'm building a ring in one of my houses. No, all of my houses' backyards. This is real. I love this stuff. And then Triple H is like, how good did that feel? How good did that feel? And I want to say, go ask Cody real quick. He's still laying out there with a ruptured eardrum because you just put your fist through the side of his head because you don't have a clue how to throw a working punch, Tommy. 30 seconds. That's
right. And by the way, Cody's protecting Conrad big time because he's getting big heat social media. But you know what you call that in the business, Coach?
What's that?
Payback. When he gets his hands on him, there's going to be a little potato punch, what we call in the business. And you know what that is? That's a shoot punch, a little payback from Travis Scott.
Receipt.
We call it a receipt.
Yeah,
Gabby.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's going to be a receipt. Travis Scott, you want to play with the big boys? You want to play in the big yard? You just put the chin out there and take it like a man. Put the chin out there and take it like – I can't even tell you how many receipts I got in my career. Just take it.
By the way, I know I have to talk very quickly, but Bubba Ray actually said, like, if I ever saw Travis Scott, I would kick the shit out of him. And Travis Scott commented on Instagram and was like, I'll slap you the same way I slapped him, bully.
Yeah, I commented on that today.
Yeah,
I hate that. We're going to talk about that on the other side. I hate when celebrities do that, something that you would never do to Bully Ray's face. Or quite frankly, to my face.
Right.
You're a $140. All right, still to come. We're just getting started. It's a beautiful night here on The Last Word. We got promo school. We're going to flip the script. And what was said at AEW last night? Just getting started. Last Word Live, as always, on Stadia. All right, we continue on our YouTube page for you OGs. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button on your way in. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, please do that as well. Big Tommy C. Gabby. So tonight, one of the things I actually found very entertaining was the involvement of Chad Gable, who wasn't Chad Gable, and when he was interviewed by Kathy Kelly and she called him a liar, then all of a sudden behind him, they actually had a guy that looked like him in a lucha being. I thought that was very creative. Gabby, let's start with you. Did you like that?
I didn't mind it. I know they had the segment last week of him like training and he was going to come back in the mask. So it did make sense. Like it wasn't as random as it seemed. And he's been great at being entertaining in different ways. Always Chad Gable. Like he's one of the best at doing that. So I thought it was fun.
I did too. Tommy, what did you make of that?
I got to tell you, man, Chad Gable reminds me so much of Kurt Angle, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Right, and he's funny, but he gets the point across. That interview with him and Kathy Kelly was one of the best I've ever seen him do. And then the payoff was the guy walking out and just shaking his head. Like he is so good. He's gotten so good at that subtly, not over the top. And that's what I like about Chad Gable.
Yeah.
We call that, Gabby, and I'm allowed to say this because the beat button guy is ready. We call that a chicken shit heel. That's what we call that in the business.
Okay.
And he is so good at it. And when I saw that shot, Tommy, you'll remember this. Gabby may not so much. But one of the times when we were at Madison Square Garden, and I think it was WrestleMania maybe, they had a skit with Bobby the Brain Heenan, remember that, Tommy? And it was Mean Gene Okerlund, Mae Young, and who was the fourth? Moolah. Yes. And they were all doing something behind a closed door. I came and I opened it, and they had lipstick all over their face. Oh, my God. That was one of the greatest moments of my career. Oh, yeah. Mean Gene. Oh, May. Oh, my gosh. Go back and find it on YouTube. It's absolutely hysterical. That's the first thing that popped in my head tonight. Yeah. Was all the fun we've had at Madison. And the time I got yelled at for hitting a switch. Gabby, you can't touch because of unions anything in Madison Square Garden, or it's a huge fine. You can't even turn the lights on and off. True story. It's crazy. It's crazy.
How about Mark Henry with the hand being pregnant? The hand.
That's funny. We're back in 5 seconds. Get your clock, Tommy. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is the last word with me, Big Tommy C, and our rock star, Gabby Laspisa. We're here every single Monday night. Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV. You know what time it is. Now, there are certain things that happen in wrestling, whether it's WWE or it's AEW. Oh, it's one of the other incredible organizations that my crew, Gabby and Big Tommy C, just don't like. We got to cut a little promo. So how about we go to promo school? All right, so where are we going to start today? Tommy, I'm going to let you start because we're focusing on heels this week. Who are you cutting a promo on?
I got to tell you, Coach, these guys have been baby faces for over 10 years. Everybody loved them. They had the greatest merchandise in the world. I mean, I don't know who didn't like this crew. They had bootios, they had everything, and I'm talking about the New Day. The way they have flipped the switch and became heels, and by the way, they are believable heels. As you watched tonight, did you hear that crowd at MSG when that thing came out, New Day, like that, and then their music? That was real heat, and they are getting it because they are professionals. They know how to do it. They went against, of course, the ultimate baby face, the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, and they went at it tooth and nail. But boy, I got to tell you, the way they have flipped the switch of being heels is amazing. And X-Man Xavier Woods is phenomenal when he's cutting a promo or when he's just talking to you. And Kofi's face and the way he looks at you and the way they move and look at the crowd. Man, being from the ultimate baby faces and now being the big time heels, boy, they know how to do it right. And those are true professionals, the New Day.
Sure, when they decided to do that, there was a lot of trepidation. Yes. There was a lot because you don't know if the crowd's going to buy it, if they're going to be emotional about it, and certainly are. Real quick, talking about heels tonight, Gabby, did you notice that when Cody came out, the crowd was like, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena. It was very much a split crowd of the over 20,000 tonight at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and listen, I think that's what they want when they're bringing in a Cena and he just turned. Because guess what? We also haven't heard anything from Cena since he turned. So I think you still have those people sitting out there like waiting for hope to see what happened. But just so you know, your babyface is right there, Cody Rhodes, who shows up to work every single week. We're still waiting to see Cena. So maybe you should keep chanting Cena sucks and not we want Cena. You're
Think
picking and choosing.
I can't get past it, Tommy. And
No.
clearly the crowd tonight, there I mean, and this is kind of what I thought would make for such a great heel turn. But wouldn't it be a lot better? And I know we're harping on this a lot, but the fact that we have not seen him and it's just been very cryptic social media messages is not the same, especially when you're in the world's most famous arena and he's in Africa somewhere.
Yeah.
Dude, if he showed up at Madison Square Garden, that place would have been tore down. I'm telling you, tore down. He came out, they would have went crazy. They would have went nuts. Although I did see a sign in the crowd said Cena wasn't wrong, and I thought that was pretty funny.
All right, Tommy, good start for promo school. All right, one of the things that we've seen a lot of since the Netflix debut on January 6th is a ton of celebrities that none of us know. And they all have a show and or a special on Netflix. Gabby, who are you cutting a promo on tonight?
So I'm cutting a promo on Andrew Schultz. And listen, I don't know if you know who he is, but speaking of one of those celebrities, he's a big time comedian. He has a new Netflix special. He has a podcast. He's from New York, a proud New Yorker. But I'm cutting a promo on the fact that he was awesome in his segment tonight with Logan Paul, of all people, speaking of some of the best heels right now, because that's Logan Paul. But it was perfectly done. He didn't overdo it. He mentioned being in New York. He got the crowd hyped up. He talked about, they want to see you. They'd much rather see AJ Styles, which pissed off Logan Paul, took him, threw him into the ring just when he's about to hit him with a big time, hit. AJ Styles music comes out because he just mentioned AJ Styles. AJ comes out, gets a huge pop, and this is how you're supposed to do it, just a little bit. Andrew Schultz was just a nice little segue for Logan to look like a major heel, AJ to come out and save the day. And that was it. He didn't overdo it. It wasn't someone you didn't, and if you didn't know him, guess what? He was wearing the New York jacket, repping New York, so the crowd automatically loves him, and that's all that matters. And guess what? He has a special on Netflix, so everyone's happy. It was perfect.
That's right.
I literally just downloaded. I've got a flight tomorrow.
So good, by the way.
On the flight.
I just watched it. It's awesome.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Me too.
Awesome.
Yeah, very funny. Very funny.
All right, guys, I have a rule when it comes to celebrities and having Michael Cole call them out on Raw. If you're Macaulay Culkin, you cannot have you twice in
I don't
a
care
month.
what you say.
What?
I don't care. I disagree with you. So say what you were going to say, because I think you're wrong.
Before you ruined my flow?
Sorry.
When I said that you've got it, and all these rappers that only clearly the three of us I know, fabulous. That was one of my OGs back in the day. And you're kidding me right now? And there's guys, literally Michael Cole, you can hear the papers rustling when he's looking and going, fabulous. You can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. But Macaulay Culkin, I'm telling you, I know he just won. Didn't he win a Grammy?
His brother.
His brother won an Oscar.
His
brother's
brother
a
won
better
an
actor
Oscar.
than him. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Macaulay. Okay.
It's Home Alone. And by the way, both Home Alones were massive. So he's not going to have one, but two. So he's allowed to be announced twice for Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Lost in New York, by the way, is the title of Home Alone 2.
Yeah, he was 10 years old then.
Who gives it?
Tommy,
who gives an SHIT? Because I'm not allowed to. It's Macaulay Culkin. It doesn't matter. He got the biggest pop. That first Raw on Netflix. Tell me Macaulay Culkin didn't get the biggest pop of the night.
He did. So let's leave it at that.
So Macaulay Culkin calls you up.
In LA.
Macaulay Culkin calls up Triple H. Hey, I'm lost in New York. Home Alone 2, one of the biggest blockbusters of all time. I'd love to come tonight. You know what, Macaulay? You know what we're going to do? We'll have you front row, but we're not going to announce that you're there. Just sit there so that if you get caught in... Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what you do.
Bonkers of you to say. Bonkers. Because I'm not cursing, so that's my fun word.
And the stadium execs appreciate that very, very much. I love when you get ticked off. Because you know who used to be in charge, Gabby, for about 8 years of celebrities and cutting promos and getting interviews with them backstage. Guess who that would have been?
I'm not doing this with you.
Your boy Your boy. That's
All I heard
exactly
was
right.
used
so I
to
would
be.
talk to them, and I would deal with them. And
Used
none
to.
of them respected the business. None of them. Not
all I
even
heard-
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
All right.
Macaulay Culkin's enemy number one. You're right. Kevin McAllister.
Oh, my God.
He's out.
All right. I'm going to cut a promo as we segue beautifully into it on these 120-pound celebrities that think they have game, that all of a sudden they grow a set when they stand next to The Rock, or they think they were in Home Alone and I'm in New York City and I've got girls like Gabby. They go, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shut it. I'm tired of these guys. And maybe a couple girls, I don't know. But if you are going to talk and you're going to talk trash on social media, then have that same energy when you show up to Monday Night Raw or a PLE or whoever you're talking trash on. Because I promise you, whether it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, whether it's Booker T, whether it's any of these OGs or even Bully Ray with Travis Scott, that a lot of them cannot stand, because I've seen it, been there, felt it, when they have this false bravado and they're playing wrestling. Gabby, we don't play wrestling. This is real to us. I've got 1, 2, 3 scars from bad headshots with a chair. That's not play wrestling. So when a Travis Scott puts out a Wrestling is Real t-shirt and then he talks trash to Bully Ray that we all know he would never do in person, I've got a big time issue with that. And don't get me started on if Macaulay Culkin would talk trash to any WWE superstar out there, because he wouldn't.
Of course
Your
he
take.
wouldn't. Well, first of all, Macaulay Culkin and Travis Scott are separate entities in the conversation. Travis Scott is knowingly going out, getting physical with wrestlers, talking crap on wrestlers. Macaulay Culkin's there out of respect because he enjoys and appreciates and loves the show. So it's two different things. So if Macaulay Culkin were here, maybe we can get him on at some time, Coach, to have this conversation.
That'd be
He
great.
would probably say, you know what, Coach? I love everything you did. I thought you were great. And then you'd be like, you know what, Macaulay? You can be announced as much as you want at every single Raw you show up to, because I was wrong and you do love me.
That's actually very true. That's exactly what I would do, Tommy.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, my ego's so big. That's exactly what I would do. Macaulay, you're my boy. I don't care what Gabby says about you. You're my boy.
Home Alone, greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You beat the shit out of Joe Pesci. Come on, man.
Oh, my God. The first time I met Joe Pesci, he's like 4'8", literally. I was like, holy cow, you cannot be serious right now. And Macaulay's like 5'2".
I know.
Macaulay Culkin's like 5'2".
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know me so well. That's exactly what I would do.
I know.
But are we not getting a little bit overbearing with all of the, and I know it's New York and a lot of the actors live there, but tonight we must have had 10 to 20 celebrities that were announced. And Tommy, and I, all kidding aside, I know Netflix has to push their agenda and their shows, but give me like 20 seconds of their shows. Give me, like, when I see Sirens, I want to see it. I have no clue what it is.
Yeah, that guy was barking like a dog. I didn't even know who he was. I mean, what the hell? I knew he had a Steiner Brothers shirt, but he's barking. And then they had that rapper with the goat. He didn't even know where he was. That guy didn't even know what day it was. Like, it's all part of the Netflix deal, right, Coach?
Of course.
It's all one hand washes the other here, man. I'm paying you the money. You got to promote our programming coming on. We're reaching a new audience here. I want people to watch Sirens. I want people to watch this. I mean, Andrew's comedy special is off the hook funny, so anybody's going to watch that. But, man, the guy doing Sirens, and he's barking like a dog.
Speaking of hands, was it fabulous that, and they stay on too long? It was, Gabby, it was like a 40-second shot, and he does the hand thing.
Yeah.
And then he looks down at his phone. Oh, you're still on me. Okay, here we do it again. I was like, come on. Come on. We only need 15 seconds of a dude we don't know. And a 10-year-old wrestling fan, little Johnny at home, has no clue who Fabulous is.
He's so good too, though. Fabulous was like my day of like wrestling, like of rapping. You know what I mean? He was great. I like Fabulous.
You're 55 years old?
What are you talking about? Fabulous was so.
He's old. He's
not that old. But you're right.
We're gonna have intern Dan look it up at the break. Okay, we're gonna have intern Dan find out how old Fabulous is. In the meantime,
it's with an O. Fabulous, by the way. It's not
Fabulous.
fabulous.
All right, coming up on the other side. Oh, Gabby's fired up tonight. We're going to flip the script. What would she change about a big-time segment tonight? It is the last word. We are live, as always, on Stadium. All right, you OGs, degenerates out there watching on our YouTube channel, continue to watch. Hit the like button on your way in. Subscribe if you have not done it. All right, so we know next week and the next 3 weeks that Raw is going to be live overseas. The interesting part is that since it's on Netflix, you can watch it all over the world. SmackDown, you cannot. So now, Tommy, we know that it's going to be 3 Eastern live in the States, 12 Pacific, where I live, and it's the days of being able to have spoilers and show it on tape. They're long gone.
Yeah, it's long gone, and it's a smart move by WWE, right? They got to go international, mainly because of John Cena. I can't think of any other reason why they would do it during this period of time in the promotion of WrestleMania. It's all for John Cena, nothing else, no ifs, ands, or buts. They aired at 3. There's no spoilers. They're very smart about it, and they did it the right way. They got to air it at 3 o'clock. Whether I don't know how many people are going to watch it or not, but you're not going to see any spoilers on social media.
No.
And that's a smart move by WWE.
Show it live, Gabby, and then for the people who still want to watch it at the same time on demand, you can do that. That's kind of the advantage of Netflix, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I think it's awesome because I dislike when it's overseas and I have to jump on and I'm late to the game and I don't know what's going on or I can't react right away, or even if you're not watching it and you know what's going to happen, it takes a lot of the entertainment out of watching it, no matter what. So I think this is very smart on their part.
It's awful when you know what's happening. It's like watching a basketball game or a football game and knowing the end score. Nobody ever does that. You would never watch a game that 34-31 is the final score. So I used to, in my entire career, we never did what they're getting ready to do. We would go overseas. We'd leave Monday night after the show. We'd do house shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was literally, Gabby, the best time ever. You're doing 10 shows in 10 days. You do one TV because you cross over the one Monday, and then you'd come back home on Wednesday or Thursday after going to 10 different cities. Most of my really good stories are from European trips. Most of them that I can't tell here on live television.
I can't wait to hear them after.
That'll be a premium only.
Yeah.
That'll be a premium only. All right, we're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It's the last word. Having a great time on a Monday night, as we always do. The live number right now on YouTube and social media is ridiculous. Those of you watching us on Stadium, Amazon, DirecTV, thank you so very much. You guys stay up late with us every single week, and we cannot say thank you enough. Now, there are certain things in the show tonight, and don't get Gabby started, that we need to, change the narrative on just a little bit. It's time to flip the script. All right, it's time to flip the script. Mike, thank you for the nice note in the chat. Again, if you want to be read on, you can be a premium member or a super sticker, and we'll get you right on to the show. All right, so Gabby, I got to start with you because I could feel the steam coming out of your ears tonight when out comes, who came out first?
Io.
Oh, it was Michael Cole in the middle of the ring. He announced Io Sky. Out comes Io Sky, who shocked the world last week and beat Rhea Ripley to set herself up for a championship match against Bianca Belair, who was victorious at the Elimination Chamber. And then, when they came out, and Io, the crowd could not have cared less. Then Bianca comes out, looked like $1 million. Then Rhea comes out, and they both pie-faced the champion like she was a child. This is flip the script. What would you have done differently?
So, I gave it a chance. I was not happy with what happened last week, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go into this week, give it a chance, coach. You know what I mean? I'm a patient person, if you couldn't tell. I have all the patience in the world to make sure to see that this is going to end up happening. I'm like, maybe it'll be a triple threat, and I'll get invested in it being a triple threat, and I'm going to be happy about it. But Io comes out. It's a mild response from the crowd. Bianca comes out. a bigger response from the crowd. Rhea, it's like mommy chants, the whole roof is because she is a star, and it does not make Io look any better for her to come out that way. And then of course she comes out, cut my music, she's angry, whatever. I am trying very hard to see the emotion, the story they're trying to tell with this triple threat. But to me, it looks like a star in Bianca, a star in Rhea coming at each other. They're angry at each other. Rhea thinks that Bianca stopped her from retaining. Bianca's angry at Rhea. That's the story for WrestleMania. And then you have Io, bless her heart, just being like, I'm the champion. But like, we forget you're the champion until you get smacked in the face by both these women that are visibly bigger than you, visibly stronger than you, visibly more over than you. And then you slap them both in the face and you start having a tantrum that they're not acknowledging you as the champion and giving you respect. To me, a champion isn't having a tantrum when they are needing respect. They demand respect and they get it because they're champion. So do I emotionally invest myself in Io being a champion and being a credible champion? Absolutely not. And I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because she is a phenomenal wrestler in the ring. But on the mic, you can't even tell me she's at the level of the two of them. So yeah, great. Are we on the road to getting a triple threat? Sure. Is there a triple threat I'm 1,000 times more invested in that we saw at the end of the match with Rollins, Punk, and Roman? Yes, because that's how you're supposed to do it. And if you make the comparison to these two triple threats, if that's what we're getting, it's not even apples and oranges. It's a rock and a boulder. That's how I'm comparing the two, between emotional investment and how much I give a crap about seeing it. And it's sad because it's three very talented women, but I don't know what story I'm following to give a crap about it, honestly.
Tommy.
Yes, sir.
I hate it when I agree with everything that Gabby says. And by the way, somebody in the chat called her a unicorn. Never seen a female know so much about wrestling in their life. I agree. That's why I found her. That's why I brought her onto this show. She's our rock star for a reason. Tommy, you cannot have a women's champion who, what does Vince Russo teach us all the time? You've got to write for reality. What did Gabby just say? Io is half the size of Rhea and Bianca. They pie-faced her like she was a 6-year-old little child. Then they stood there because the timing was off and waited for her to slap Rhea. And then Bianca was like, yeah, do it to me too. I'm like, are we kidding ourselves right now? Tommy, this is so unbelievable that they have put Bianca and Rhea. They could have had a nice story leading up to WrestleMania, the two of them. But now with Io in there, I don't know why they decided to do that. Do you have a take?
I don't have it. You know what got me the whole time is this, and like Gabby, this, when they were face to face, Bianca and Rhea, did you see how small Io was?
Yes.
It was ridiculous. And one thing I want you to talk about, because you were an announcer at one time, why was the reason Michael Cole was there? You know the reason why he was there. It was live with Io, but I'll let you explain that. But they gave her no respect at all. Rhea didn't even look at her. Rhea was jumping in Bianca's face. You're the one that made me lose. Not even putting over the fact that Io won the championship. It was all because of Bianca. And that's when Io jumped in with her little self, and it made it look worse when she got in the middle of them to see they were a full head above her. And that looks really, really bad, Coach.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. You could have easily added a line for Rhea and been like, Io beat me last week. Good for her. But my eyes are on you. It could have been as simple as that.
Didn't even do that.
They didn't even do that. There was little zero. I've never seen a champion so disrespected in my life. And to answer your question, because I saw a lot of people on social media talking about this. Why wasn't Jackie Redmond? Why wasn't it Kathy Kelly? You guys got to understand, Michael Cole's been doing this for 28 years. When you have a talent and a superstar that does not speak very good English, and there's a very good chance the timing could get off with all those superstars in the ring, you got to have somebody that knows exactly what they're doing and can get out of it and get back into it. And there's nobody better than Michael Cole. That's period. Right. End of story. That's why he was in the ring at the beginning. But now, Gabby, is there anything that the WWE can do to get you back invested in these three leading up to WrestleMania?
So something I wish I would have seen, and I know this is flip the script. So what I wish they would have done, and this honestly is something I just thought of in the moment while we were talking. Imagine right before Michael Cole had EO come out, we saw a beautiful video package explaining EO's kind of like her journey, where she's come from, why this means so much to her, a little bit backstory of her, and then show tweets of people that are like, EO, I'm so excited. Like, I've been waiting for this, underrated, underappreciated, blah, blah, blah. Make the audience understand why it was such a shock, as opposed to Rhea, not because Rhea lost. People were shocked that Rhea lost. They weren't shocked that EO won. I want to be shocked that EO won, instead of just Rhea losing because Rhea's a star. If you're making me believe in EO, I need to know her whole story. And that's what I'm saying. If I see tweets of all these people, I'm like, oh, maybe she is underrated. Maybe she is underappreciated. Look at those people that love her. She's so beloved. Then have Michael Cole bring her out. So you have a nice little... it's a red carpet for her to come out and be like, oh, okay, now I understand what's going on. Especially you're on Netflix. If people don't know who Rhea is, they definitely don't know who EO is. Do something like that and make her a little more appreciated, so that when she does get slapped in the face, people are like, oh, that's not very nice. Like, EO's so sweet and like we like her and she's the champion. It needs to be, you need to make me invested in EO, because right now, all I care about is Rhea Ripley and her winning that title back. And that's not going to change for me. And you have a few weeks to make that change for me. And I don't know how they're going to do it, because tonight it made me honestly dislike EO as champion. She came off like a little girl in the ring with two grown ass women. And I don't think she's a little girl, but everything she did made me believe that. And I would not believe her being able to beat the two of them in a match clean in any way, shape, or form. So you're going to have to make me really invest in her as a person.
But that's the only way that they can do it, because if Bianca's not out there to interfere, then nobody believes that EO could beat Rhea Ripley a week ago. Also, let's remember that Netflix is now in 85% of the world. So a lot of what they're doing plays into the Asian culture, plays into the European culture. What if we would have taken her back to her home country, had her get off the plane, have the crowd there going bananas for her, so we can see her star power that's not in the United States? And
let me see her family crying, Coach. Her family crying because she went to a different country and made a name for herself.
That'd be amazing. It takes that extra effort, though, and it takes the thinking ahead, because that's not something, sending her to what's her exact home country? Is it Japan? Is it Japan? Not sure, but sending her there, I've been to Tokyo many, many times, and it takes a full day. So she wouldn't have had time to go, but if you're thinking ahead, you can shoot that and do what we call a work.
She's from Japan.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I remember when I used to walk down the streets of Tokyo at night, 11 o'clock, and I had people chasing after me. What do you think she does? What do you think that would be like if the coach had people chasing him down Roppongi? Io Sky from there. Asian superstars are treated like royalty in Japan. Hideki in golf, all these different stars. You guys have no idea. Oh, Shohei. They've done that with Shohei. When he won the MVP, they flew back with him to just shoot the crowd at the airport. They revere these stars. Absolutely revere them.
They could have did something in New York, Coach. It's so multicultural in New York, right? You could have done a vignette today, this morning. I mean, we all been there. We've been to TVs where we had all these packages. You got to go out and shoot. Bring her somewhere where there's a multicultural of Asian people, putting her over and work it. You friggin', you work it. That's what you do. And then you air that beforehand. Look at today, walking through the city. Oh my God, the champ. And none of that was done. It just was so nonchalant, disrespectful. It was incredible.
The only way they used New York City was Adam Pearce shooting a preview video they posted on X talking about the matches tonight. How do you not use New York City more in Monday Night Raw tonight, except for the city shots? That's just laziness. You got New York City. Go out, shoot stuff. We used to do that every single time. We also had the restaurant. Remember we had WWE New York or WWF New York? Oh, having that restaurant, Gabby, was amazing. Because we would do live shots from Times Square in the restaurant. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
I would have had every wrestler try New York pizza and say if they think it's better than like how do you not? I'm sorry, that's my thing. I would be like, New York pizza is the best pizza in the world, and you say no, you get punched in the face because it's not. You can't.
Hey,
It's not.
Gabby, we've got a commercial we got to get to. Are you good
Okay.
with that?
I'm hungry.
All right. On the other side, Gabby had two amazing actresses on her show. She's got some answers. She needs some answers. It's the last word. We are live on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page through the commercial break, every single one. Thank you again. The live number is just crazy. I'm looking at it on social media. You guys are ridiculous, the fact that you find us. So, Gabby, in our next segment, we're going to be talking about a really bad gaffe that an actress in Queen of the Ring did at AEW Revolution last night in Los Angeles. And you recently had them on your podcast. So we're going to get to that. But in another female storyline, what did you make of Naomi on SmackDown and that Oscar-winning performance with her and Bianca, and then Jade comes out of nowhere?
I liked it, Coach. I thought Jade looked phenomenal in that white and red outfit. She looked like a stone cold killer. And I will say, I don't know if you saw this as well, but Naomi at the Queen of the Ring red carpet had a neck brace that was diamond studded that matched her outfit. So you want to talk about keeping up with what had happened. I found that awesome. I very much liked that segment. And I think it was a good finish to the story of what was happening. We kind of knew it was going to be Naomi turning on Jade. I think it was a good finish. And now have them do a little storyline with them because Bianca is now separated from them. And I think, I honestly think it was awesome. I really did like it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Tommy, did you like the cinematic 8 minutes and 15 seconds that you could watch on social media?
Yeah, it was a little long, but I got to tell you, Coach, I'm reinvested in Jade right now. Of her being this big time person coming back, and Naomi, and what really got me also was Bianca's emotion and passion through that whole thing.
Yep.
That's what really caught me about it. So I'm a little invested in Jade now and see where we go with it. I just want to see her cut a promo now. So
yeah, so does the rest of the world, Tommy. So does the rest of the world.
But here's the point, Coach. Maybe it's short and sweet, and that's what you got to do with her. So we'll see what happens with it.
I call this the Gabby effect on you, Tommy.
No,
I call this the Gabby effect.
What?
Beautiful thing.
She is severely affecting what's going on between your ears right now. I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it. I really don't. All right, we've got some serious business to get to. We're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is the last word live on the Stadium Network and all of their platforms: Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, Roku TV, YouTube TV. You can also watch on demand. We always post a show after the live show. Thank you to everybody in the live chat for participating tonight. The live number is crazy. Now, something happened last night at an AEW pay-per-view that shocked the world. It's time for the last word. All right, as fate would have it, we have a little synergy on the show tonight. So last night at AEW Revolution, they were promoting Queen of the Ring, this new wrestling movie. You've seen it on Van Vliet's podcast, and maybe some... Oh, that's right. Gabby, you had two of the stars on your podcast in the last week. So, what was her name? Damaris? Did I get that right? Damaris Lewis?
Yes,
Okay.
Damaris Lewis.
All right, so Damaris, clearly AEW doesn't know what the hell they're doing with their celebrities or their interviews. Because if that would have happened on a WWE show, this never would have happened. So she was asked in a live interview from the second row or first row a question about, what did you learn from doing this? I learned that they know they're going to win before the match even starts. I'm paraphrasing. And social media has lit her up. To go on a microphone, Gabby, and say, we all know it's fake. We all know it's choreographed. We all know if we're going to win or lose, when little Johnny is sitting 2 seats away going, Mom, what's going on? But you had them on your podcast. I'll let you go first. Defend this.
Oh, well, okay. So I had Damaris Lewis. She plays Babs Wingo in the movie. And I had Kaylee Latimer, who is known as Camille in AEW. I had them together on my podcast.
Okay.
And it was a super fun podcast. We talked about the film. I talked about their inspiration. Damaris is a model / actress, whereas Camille is an actual wrestler. So it was cool to get the dynamic between the two. She was very respectful of pro wrestling when I spoke with her. She talked about how hard it was for her to train, how much she had to learn, that she didn't think it was going to be as much work as it was, and she was pleasantly surprised by how much she loved it. So all she said to me was positive things. This was clearly obviously before AEW. She said nothing that deemed inappropriate or would have been gone crazy. And you could tell that these two were actually friends in real life. They were very friendly with each other and happy to be there. And she was very, very sweet. I don't blame her for this, because if you don't know at the end of the day how bad it is to say that, and no one's prepping you before you're on TV, and no one's, saying, oh, what are you going to say when you get this answer? Like, shouldn't they be telling you these kinds of things until you say something like that?
That's where we're going to go. That's where we're going.
And that's why I feel bad for her, because was very respectful of pro wrestling speaking to me and very sweet. And I don't think she meant to say it in a way with all this backlash happening.
Okay. So now, Tommy, for many, many years, you were the stage manager out at ringside. So for an interview like this, that would have been you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the writers would have prepped her beforehand, given her the question, and probably given her the answer. The fact that that was an AEW show, very, very telling. How do they let that slip through the cracks and then not know what she was going to say? And then Camille today on social media is like, well, she meant this because she found out this while filming. Nobody knows the background. Nobody cares about the background. This was as egregious as you can make it, Tommy. What would you have done?
Well, my job there is to find out what you want to talk. What are you going to talk about? What are you going to promote? And if it's a no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go here. I would almost tell them. And here's another big thing, Coach. We rehearsed everything, especially somebody outside of the business like her, an actress, and doing this. For her to come out and say that, Tony Schiavone was like, are you kidding me?
Can you imagine?
I can't believe she just said that, but we rehearsed it. I remember I had a thing with Michael Clark Duncan. We were in LA. He was promoting the Green Mile, but he wanted to talk about a million other things. I was, excuse me, sir, we're going to go to one question and one question only. He goes, no, I want to talk about this. I told Kevin Dunn, you know what we did? We did a shot of him. Hey, there's Michael Clark Duncan. That was it. We never did the interview.
Oh, my God. Every time we would have a celebrity, Gabby, and it didn't go away, you had Kevin Dunn in here, what the and you're like, okay, we're never doing that again. And I understand, Gabby, that you want to defend her, and I'm sure she's a very, very nice person.
Yes.
I blame AEW for this.
Right.
Totally.
I mean, and this kind of screams the problems that they have is the attention to detail is so bad that you have a pay-per-view where you're supposed to be your biggest show of the spring, and all anybody's talking about is an actress in a show called Queen of the Ring, and nothing about MJF or Moxley or Christian or nothing. That's a problem. That is the overriding problem with this that nobody's talking about. Yep. You're not talking about the show, you're talking about her.
I can't believe how these athletes are. I can't believe I'm at a live show. I did the movie. Look at these guys in the ring. It is unbelievable. Something like that. Didn't hear none of that. And part of the problem is, Coach, Tony's flying by the seat of his pants. He's asking two questions that he knows. He has no idea what she was going to say. There's no floor manager there. It was just a pig fuck. Excuse my language.
No, I was going to say, not to mention I'm trying to veer off of this, Coach, because I can already tell you're stunned by what he just said. And by the way,
I just know my phone's going to go off in about 2 seconds.
Coach,
I have to answer these phone calls. Go ahead.
I believe you now. That's the Gabby effect. Just so you know, him saying that's the Gabby effect.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
But also, if you care so much about Queen of the Ring and you're going to show, why don't you have Camille maybe do something on the actual show? Because she's biggest AEW, like out of everybody that was involved in AEW, she has the biggest role in the actual movie. But we don't see her on the card at all. We don't even see her talking on the actual. When's the last time you've seen Camille do anything in AEW? It's crazy to me. And you bring out the people she's in the movie with, she's not even on the show. Maybe have her with Damaris because maybe she could coach her because she's an actual wrestler. But you don't. You don't. You have two actresses. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe think that through a little bit if you're going to do it. But what do I know?
All right, real quick. The other thing from that show that I absolutely hated also involved the women. The blood with...
I liked it.
You liked it?
I thought it was a beautiful story told, and it was epic.
But do we... I just don't like seeing women have blood and have the thumbtacks. It's unnecessary to me. But I know you're a badass woman, so you're going to disagree with me. I know that makes me sound... I'm not even saying that as a chauvinist or anything. I just don't like that in female wrestling. I never have.
Listen, I get it. I think it's more... and it's very divided with people that love it or people that hate it. You know, I think it's one of those things where you don't want to see it. And when you're used to not seeing it for so long in the business and now you see it over the top, you're like, ew, I don't like that at all. I appreciate it because I think it shows badass women. And I think because it was the two of them, it works because their storyline and the way it was finished was epic. It was cinema. It really was.
Tommy, your take on the blood and the ladies.
It was excessive, though, Coach. But that storyline is one of the best storylines that AEW has done to date. Look, she brought Mariah in. Mm-hmm. She was her girl. And then she stuck the knife into Tony Storm. And then Tony went away and came back. And she had amnesia. And she did this. Mm-hmm. But they told a great story. And they had great... All of their matches were physical, Coach. Let's just face it. It had to end in Hollywood. It was a Hollywood trilogy. It was a Hollywood ending. And that's why they did it last night in Los Angeles.
Tommy, you and I are going to meet after this show and have a little tete-a-tete. We're going to have a little tete-a-tete, you and I, because I don't like where this show is headed. Not one bit.
I don't know. I feel like when you're the problem when other people think the same thing, and
maybe I'll take the night off next week, and we'll see how
the 3 p.m. After Raw off because it's 3 p.m. next week.
Oh my God, I'm not even landing by then. So I don't know when we're a network show, Gabby.
Right.
We don't just change the time of our show.
What if
we're
I
a
asked
network
to?
show?
I'll call it the network. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Can you imagine David from Stadium? Gabby, tell Coach to call me. You don't call me the hotline. Don't call me on the hotline. All right, another great show. Absolutely love Gabby and Big Tommy C. Thank you to all of you who watch either on Stadium, on YouTube, on social media. We value all of you. Next week, we will still be here at the same time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, to break down the first Raw overseas the next 3 weeks. In the meantime, for Gabby, Big Tommy, intern Dan, and my main man, producer man, I'm the coach. We'll see you next week right here live. As always, it's the last word on Stadium. Have a great week.